just going to say right now, are you ready for part 2? This is part 2, and I'll be giving you some details about some of the technical aspects that I have been getting myself tangled up with on this aircraft. We have made some beautiful improvements and just making it better. I think. Let's start the video from the beginning of part 2. In the last episode, we installed a fuel flow sensor. That fuel flow sensor I am now trying to calibrate. This is the second flight with that fuel flow sensor, and we're seeing some good numbers. I've done a course calibration, but today we're going to look at the more of a calibration as well as some other improvements on this aircraft.
CS.
Go.
Red line monitor. Go. Quality. Go. Voice down. Go. Go. Safety officer. Go. Range. Go. LC. Calibration to launch.
1.
Fuel flow is looking really good at the moment at idle, 10 litres per hour. So that sounds about right for idle. Well, it's a little bit, it's in warm up, so I've got it above idle at the moment. Camera on. Because I've got a new trick with the camera. It's a switch. I'll show you that soon. And I might add, it's ingenious. Maryborough traffic, Microlight 6340, taxis, hangars to taxiway Alpha. Maryborough traffic. Might try out the Mary River actually to River Heads first. I want to do about an hour to get a good fuel flow representation, calibration and actual burn comparison. Right, rolling. Traffic Maryborough, Microlight 6340 is airborne 35, left hand, turning left hand crosswind, and we'll be departing overhead the field, midfield, tracking east, climbing 1500, Maryborough traffic. That sun is a killer. Alrighty, we're established at 1500. Set the cruise control, set the trim speed, and we're doing 80 knots. And that's indicated airspeed. Ground speed 66, so we've got about 20 knot headwind here. Right, we're indicating 16 litres per hour at 80 knots, 4600 RPM. We've got about 10 knot headwind at this stage, apparently. I'll talk to you shortly about some of the changes on the aircraft. What have we done? What are the updates for sparkles? And how have I improved it? Or in my opinion, improved it. I'll do that when we get round the end of River Heads, because at the moment you've got the sun on my back and you can't see much. Traffic Harvey Bay, Microlight 6340 is over River Heads, 7 miles south, 1500, tracking north coastal Harvey Bay traffic. Alright, we've turned away from the sunlight, so I can talk to you now. I've slowed down to 75 knots as well. So what have I done? So we fixed the antenna. I had some problems after the accident. I was doubting whether or not I had good transmission. Sometimes people would say it was great, other times people would say it wasn't. And I thought, is it me or is it the other aircraft? What's going on? And one day I just bit the bullet and thought, I'll buy this SWR meter, SWR, VSWR, digital, cheap. Apparently reviews from ham radio people reckon it's pretty good for the value, for whatever. And I thought it would just help me diagnose what's really going on. Is it the transmitter or is it the cable? Rather than just buying a new antenna and finding it wasn't that for $200, let's just try diagnosing it properly first. So anyway, had a look at the antenna, had a look at the transmitter, tested it with the SWR meter, and it all turned out looks like antenna. Now I won't get into how you use the things, but the readings were suspiciously antenna. And because of the repair that I'd done to the cable after the accident, I thought that's where the problem's going to be for sure, because I'm pretty sure I had good transmission before the accident. So I dug in, I repaired it, I did a better job this time, I made sure of it, and everything tested well, and now it looks like it's working properly. So that's number one. This SWR meter, by the way, I'm talking about on screen, yeah, good value, I reckon. Saved me a lot of money. All I had to do was buy that. Now I've got a diagnostic tool and fix the cable, which basically I knew how to do, and it didn't really cost me anything. So that was number one. Number two, I got a big story here. I'm very lucky, I'm very fortunate I didn't have an outlanding. Don't buy these filters. I had my doubts and I should never have installed it, but it's one you can maintain and clean. So if you've got problems with your filter when you're out in the field somewhere, you can clean it out and go again. Well, this one, while I was working on the fuel flow sensor, it nearly fell to bits. It undid, it loosened off on me, and I thought, oh, I'll just tighten it up. Why wasn't that tight? It turns out the threads weren't reliable, weren't connecting properly. So fortunately I found that when I was on the ground and not had an engine out while I was flying over water or over some tree country. So now I'm installing a disposable sealed filter, and yeah, this is what I've chosen to use, and it seems to be very good quality. So that's issue number two fixed, which I didn't know I had until I went to install a fuel flow sensor. Hold on 1 second. Traffic Harvey Bay, Microlight 6340 is 3 miles southeast, 1,700 tracking north, coastal to the marina, Harvey Bay traffic. Alright, that's number two. Radio should be working. No one's around to contact, to talk to me, to listen to, so I don't really know 100% what it's like. So this camera, wow! I had a lateral moment where I thought, how can I control this camera, 360 camera, out on the wing? I can't reach it. It chews up a lot of data. It needs a battery to run it, because when I'm flying for 3 hours, I just can't leave it running all the time. I found Wi-Fi connections to be a bit unreliable, because if you leave the camera not recording for a while, even though it's connected on Wi-Fi, the camera will eventually turn off and then I can't turn it back on. It's not reliable. The camera, by the way, is an Insta360 X4. I upgraded my X3. The X3 doesn't quite have the capability of what I'm about to tell you, so this worked out really well. These cameras can be set up like a dash cam in a car. So do you know where I'm going with this? What that means is you can program, you can do the settings in the menu so that it will start recording on power on. Now, after a few design decisions, I've been able to set up a switch right at my right hand here, pointing to it on the 360 camera there, and it basically connects the battery bank mounted in the wing next to the camera, and it's mounted there to minimize battery voltage drop. It's connected, all it does is turns on power to the camera turns on, starts recording. When I'm finished recording, I'll turn the switch off, camera stops recording, shuts down. That means I'm basically resetting the camera every time I turn it on and off. Simple, great, easy, no worries. I'll show you how I set it up. So if you want more information about that, let me know. And if you want any information about anything else I've done, let me know, because I really think I've got things sorted out now until next time. there's something wrong. I think that really sums up this video. I'm just enjoying my first flight in 3 weeks since the bad weather, since I've been busy. We've just had rubbish weather, wind, storms, rain, cloud, low cloud, 1,000 foot and lower cloud. You can't fly in that. Hey Dave, you know who you're talking to, don't you Dave? Anyway, here's the marina below us, looking beautiful in the low sun. We might just do a flick out to Pelican Banks out here, and then flick up north. I've been flying 22 minutes now, and my goal is to do over an hour, and we'll do a fuel check calibration, and that information's coming up in a moment. I'm doing 75 knots, 77 knots indicated, 1,700 feet, and we're indicating 16 to 17, say 16 and a half litres per hour burn. I've looked at where the tank was at before I left, and I will put in an amount of fuel when I get back and just see how it compares with what this says that I've been burning. What are the advantages of a fuel flow sensor? Let me first talk about disadvantages. First, there's the cost of buying one, and then there's the extra possibility of a fuel line blockage because of the fuel line sensor. So you've got to be careful and smart how you install it. Follow the directions. How accurate are they? Well, they're more accurate than the fuel gauge for the fuel tank. So if you know you're burning 15 litres per hour, at the moment, I can see that. I can flick to another screen, and I can see it's telling me nothing. Oh no, wrong screen. It's telling me I've got 179 nautical miles remaining and 2 hours 58 minutes of flight time endurance. So I don't know if that's accurate at the moment, but it's giving me some real numbers. If I get it calibrated correctly, it'll be very useful. Without the fuel flow sensor, I wouldn't know. I mean, I've got 49 litres indicated in the fuel tank. What does that mean? Well, then I had to do some number crunching and go, at 15 litres an hour, that's about 3 hours. So that was an easy one. Getting cramp in my right leg, that's not good. Yeah, so the fuel flow meter tells me immediately I've got 2 hours and 57 remaining now. If the fuel flow sensor is not reading accurately, I can recalibrate the EFIS and change what's called a K factor. That's KFACTOR. At the moment I think I've got it set for 10,000. Recommended was 7,000, but I found that was reading too high a literage per hour fuel burn. Not sure why. So at the moment 10,000, and we can work out the numbers from there, the ratio, after I have done this flight. Oh yeah, good. We're just coming up to our little designated location of Pelican Banks. Sunsets in another half an hour, and I've got 50 minutes before I have to be on the ground. Now, would you say Pelican Banks was an island? It's still called Pelican Bank, but it's looking more than just a sandbank now, isn't it? Oh, there's one more thing I want to mention too. What do you think about these graphs? The EFIS records, now I'm using the MGL Extreme EFIS. That's a small EFIS. I can't remember the size of the screen, it's about 5 inches. Is it 4.3 inches? I don't know. But it records all of the data from the aircraft. all of the engine management systems data, as well as your flight parameters, location, speed, altitude, vertical descent, ascent rates, VSI. So yeah, but I can now pull out. I'm going to be flying into the sun. How good's that? I can now fly, measure, monitor, check, and graph all the data. So I'll be able to see the fuel flow, fuel remaining, RPM, and check, as you can see on the screen with the graph now. Did I show you what happens when I turn off the Insta360? Watch this. I just hit the switch and she shuts down. Now there's no power going to the camera whatsoever. It is completely shut down. And when I want to restart it, I turn the switch on. How easy is that? And it's hardwired. So, and it's all hidden away. So it's going. No complicated Wi-Fi stuff. Coming back, traffic, Microlight 6340 is overhead the pier, 2 miles north of the field, 1,500, tracking west coastal, Harvey Bay traffic.
Today, you may have noticed I am again wearing my recently acquired Flying Eyes sunglasses because I won't fly without them. They not only cut down the glare when flying, but also have a bifocal dioptic built in to help me see the small details on my instrument avionics. Use the CrayonBox code or link in the description to save 10% when you order yours. You'll be helping me and my channel, plus you'll get some great sunglasses.
Boy, I'm glad I got this flight in this afternoon because, well, a couple more days. I think today is Saturday, and about Tuesday we get more rain for another 4 or 5 days. So depending on how busy I am, I might get another flight or 2 in before then, making up for the lost time. But yeah, it's just really good to get out and fly. I like flying in the morning. I think most of us do. But getting up at 4 o'clock now to beat the sun and the heat, not enjoying that, so I won't do it. I just prefer to come out on a good afternoon.
Rainfall last 10 minutes, clear. Automated weather information service. Marabella Airport. Time 0828 Zulu. Wind 350 degrees magnetic at 5 knots. Visibility 25 kilometers. Cloud clear below 10,000 feet. Temperature eastward. Viewpoint C1 DNA 101 feet. Rainfall last 10 minutes nil. Automated weather information service. Marabella Airport. Time 08280. Wind 350 degrees magnetic at 5 knots. Visibility.
Traffic Maryborough, Microlight 6340 is 10 miles northwest. 3,300 inbound, estimate time circa 40, Maryborough traffic. Well, the sun's gone. I'm nearly back at the airport. Hope you enjoyed today's video, the flight, the explanations. And that's the end of this two-part video. We'll see you in another video soon. My name's Stuart. I fly Sparkles on the CrayonBox Aviation Adventures YouTube channel. Please subscribe, enjoy the adventures, and see what I get up to next. I've got a cane fire down here. I thought I'd just flick over here, and it's not very often you see these now, so let's film it and have a look. Sugar cane. This area produces quite a bit of sugar cane. Traffic Maryborough, Microlight 6340, joining downwind 35, full stop Maryborough traffic. Traffic Maryborough, Microlight 6340, turning base 35, Maryborough traffic. Traffic Maryborough, Microlight 6340, clear of runways, Maryborough traffic.